I need your advice, Brother Nashi, and I would appreciate it if you can hide my face as well as my name, not to post me on your public forums. I am writing this to you because I am confused. I don't know what am I supposed to do. Should I wait for these people to come back? But I am in serious financial crisis. There are things that were left behind by the foreign guys that were living in my mother's house when they ran away because of what happened to them on the 30th of June. Please understand my situation. I have to go back to the year 2016. I can say that what took me to university was the rooms that my mother used to rent out to a lot of people, both South African and non-South African. My mother, she was very business-minded. She started buying houses in the locations, and then she would convert those houses into rooms where she would rent out those rooms. Eventually, because of her serious chronic medication that we needed, which was expensive, we sold most of the houses and we only had one which was remaining. Me and my uncles, we never fought about it. Since I was her only surviving child, my elder sister, who was my mother's firstborn, she had passed away. So everything that belonged to my mother, my uncles then said that it was supposed to be mine since I was still a graduate and I was unemployed. Let me take you back to the year 2016. That was the year that my mother eventually passed away. Before she died, she was a very hardworking woman. She owned, like I said, properties in local locations here in Gauteng, where I was born and raised. So the only standing house that was left after we had sold the other house because we needed to buy a chronic medication. It was this house, which is in another location, name hidden. Please do not shame the name of that location. I've told you so that you can be able to make sense of my story. When she passed on, these properties were left entirely for me. Now I do have my own house because eventually I was able to get a job. I got married. I have a house that I bought through a bank loan, and the monthly bond on my house is very high. I bought this house not as a luxury, but I bought this high-end house as a means of investment because eventually me and my wife, we were like, after 10 plus or more years, we were going to sell this house, and we were targeting actually 15 years. Then we sell this house, we get something back, and then we find another house in the suburbs, still in a gated community, but much cheaper than the house that the bank offered to me. My salary alone, I can say that it can, but because of the expensive things, the way that the economy is going, my salary alone, it cannot cover it plus my normal living expenses. For the past many years, my mother's property has been my lifesaver ever since the days when I was still at university. Because of those rooms, this is what made me to have a very great credit score even when I was still in university, because my mother taught me to operate these rooms as if it was my only business. So I came out of university with a strong credit score. Even when I got a job, it was easy peasy for me to get that home loan. So we are only left with the 8 rooms which has been paying for my bond. Each room, as for now, it was occupied by foreign nationals, and each tenant has been paying me 2,500 rands every month. And if you do the math, that is 20,000 cash, which was coming into my pocket every single month. Because of that money, I have been keeping my bond always up to date, and my salary was free, and my family has been living a comfortable life. We were not like living like rich people. We were always managing, me and my wife, not wasting money, not taking credits unnecessarily. I am now faced with a choice of taking a credit card because I just need to pay for my bond until I would have got tenants in that house. The challenge with the area where my mother bought the house is that for someone to get a job around that area, it is very difficult because of the distance. One has to catch 2 taxis to come to the CBD, and it is not a place where most of the people would want to stay. That is why I am going to be struggling to get the tenants. These tenants, they lived there ever since I was still in my matric. I understand them and I knew them. Most of them, they were moved in there by my mother way before my mother had a chronic illness, and we had an incredibly good, deep relationship. They knew me since I was still a young boy, and when my mother died, they were like, we are not going to leave the rooms, we'll continue working with you. And to me, these Malawian guys, they were extremely decent and respectful people. Yes, they were just working informal jobs. There were days when things were tight for them. 1 or 2 of them would owe us rent for a month or 2 months, but there was never a problem. They never ran away from us. The moment that they got cash, they would pay everything that they owed. Sometimes when they had a good month, they would even pay their rent 2 or 3 months in advance, just to make sure that they had a place to stay. And we never fought. I never shouted at them. I would even forget that we have tenants. They would do everything. I would even send them to the municipality to go and pay whatever rates that were supposed to be paid. There was no problem. Me and these people, they'll just deposit my money. Everything changed, as you know, when June came around the corner on June 13, out of nowhere. That was when the community in that location, I wanted to go there to check if they were chasing away my tenants, but I was afraid because my wife was like, what if you get shot? They will say that you're going to defend them. Let us wait and see. Unfortunately, one of the guy who was a Malawian, who was the guy that was taking care of the place, he was like my caretaker. He then sent me a message and he said that they had been told that by 9 a.m. they were supposed to pack and go. Unfortunately, there was no time, because at 10 minutes later, that was when he said, things are not okay here, Malume. I don't know what we are supposed to do. Should we stay or should we go? And I said, Nelson, it all depends with you. If you see that you are safe, you can stay. Just stay indoors. But if you are not safe, it is fine. You can see what you can do. So they broke into the property. There are 3 doors that were broken down as I am speaking with you, but I have put a security there as for now, because these people, they just left with nothing. And when I drove there later on, I actually went there. It was on the 1st of July, just to check on the property, and I saw that the door, it had been broken down. So those people, they went, and I don't know if they are already in their country. So these people, since they left everything, they did not pay me for the month of July, because they used to deposit the money from 30th until the 2nd of the next month. That is when they used to pay me. And as for my bond, I had set it such that by the 7th, I am supposed to have paid my bond, because I know that is when my tenants would have paid me. If there was someone who had a problem by then, I would have known that so and so won't be able to pay for his rentals this month, and by then I would have made another plan, and I would take some from my own salary, and then I'll just patch up until the tenant would have paid me. Now I am caught up in a dilemma, because these people, they just left without paying me. When I went to check there, Brother Nashi, the things, they are not stolen. As I said, that I then made a security to go there that are staying at my property. Inside those rooms, these people, they left their fridges, they left their TVs, every household item that you can think of, including clothes. Some are new, some are old. And then there is a car that is also there. So this car, it belongs to one guy guy who is called Gilbert, and his car was being driven by a South African guy. He is still doing Uber with it, but it belonged to a Malawian guy. So I am thinking of meeting up with this guy so that we can be able to discuss what is the next way forward, because I am thinking of something, because this car, since it was left in my property, I am thinking of letting this South African guy to keep on driving it so that I can be able to recoup my losses, at least for this year. If I can spend this year using that car, it can patch up and I can wait for other tenants to enter into that room. And now this is the reality that I am facing, because my tenants, they were chased away on June 30. I could not collect a single cent of rent for the month, and I am going to be unable to settle my monthly bond unless if I take out a credit card, and I will be using the money on the credit card maybe for the next 3 or 4 months, which means that I will be owing the credit card company as well as my bond as well. I am in a state of financial depression. I am looking at those empty rooms every day. I am posting on Facebook. My brain sometimes it is telling me, why don't you sell their properties, everything, and even the car? How about you just sell it so that you can quickly be able to get some money and you can sustain yourself until you would have found another tenants? I just need your advice. If I do this, will I be wrong as a landlord? What are my chances of survival if I do not keep those household items that were left behind by those Malawian guys? Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to us by one of our brother. Let us speak with our brother in the comment section. What do you think? Is he supposed to sell those items, or is he supposed to just keep them? He's saying, if I keep them, where am I going to keep them? These are 8 rooms that are full of household items. I don't have storage. That is what he said. As well as a car that is on the road right now that belonged to a Malawian guy, Gilbert, and it was being operated by a South African guy. He's saying that he's going to have a meeting with that guy so that they can continue doing that Uber work whilst he is trying to find some tenants. He's saying that I'm just trying to survive financially. I am not a bad person. Let us assist him in the comment section. Then there is another message that I want to share with you, and it reads like this. Message that I will be sharing with you, it comes from a translation of a message that we received. Apologies, for the past few days I have been mixing confessions. As I said, that one of our South African admin who has been helping us for a very long time, she is busy taking her exams. So even if I send a voice note to her that is maybe 30 minutes long, she is just cutting the confessions so that she can quickly return back to her studies. But she said that once she is free, she will be able to give us the normal translations, writing each and every word that would have been said on the voice notes. So this is a confession that she translated to us, and it reads like this. Hi, Brother Nanshi, please read my message. Please, when you post, I do not want you to share my profile. I need someone, I don't know who else to talk to. I want to tell you about your brother from Zim. My mind is spinning. It is making me to go crazy. So I thought of approaching someone from that country, thinking that you can be able to give me advice as well as other people who listen to your confessions, including from my own country. I am 31 years old. I am a 31-year-old South African mother of 2 beautiful children. I live in a nice place. I'll say that I'm staying in Joburg, but I have changed my location because I'm scared that maybe someone will expose me on social media. I live in an estate for the past 6 years. My life has been completely funded by a Zimbabwean guy. He was my blesser when I was still working as a paramedic, and he was my blesser, my provider, and he is the father of my 2 kids. Right now, my life, it has come at a crossroad. I do not know what else to do. He sat with me down last week and he told me that he does not want to be in SA anymore. He said that because the majority of his workers, they were from his country, and he won't be able to afford continuing to run the business since he's selling the items back in his country. So he always wanted people to travel between SA and Zim, and he started to shut down his business. He said that he started doing this 2 years ago, and now that his manufacturing is up in his country, he says that there is no need for him to go through that headache of using people without documentation. The same workers that he has been using in SA, he has brought them to his country, and he is going to be permanently closing his factory here. And he said that since I'll be going back to Zim, I cannot take care of you whilst you are in Joburg. If you still want to be close to me, you have to pack your bags, take the kids, and you have to come live permanently with us in Zim. I am completely torn. I really do not know what else to do. This man, he has made me soft. Before I had met my blesser, I used to be someone that was working really hard for her own life, but all these years I have been a soft stay-at-home girlfriend. Even my hands are too soft. Even if I try to wash dishes, I end up having blisters. I can't wash anymore because I used to have 2 maids. And I am terrified of leaving South Africa. I am terrified that if I go there, you're my brother. My blesser is your Jonas. I don't even know where to start when it comes to women. He is a polygamist, and in his culture, it is allowed for someone like him to be a polygamist. You see, this man, he already has 9 wives back in his country. All of them, they are not poor. All of them, they are really wealthy. So I need your advice. Am I supposed to go to his country where I am going to become the other wife? Officially, they know that I am the mistress here in South Africa. I have met the 9 wives, the my gurus, as they say that I am supposed to call them. They know me, but I am not yet married according to our tradition. And I begged him and I said, if you want me to come to Zim, how about you speak with my relatives first? But he's very stubborn. He said, how about you get on the flight first and then we do things after that? So he is not respecting my culture. He just wants me to come to him, to his country. What I am scared about is my religion. I was born and raised as a strong, independent woman. These things of kneeling down for a man, he is not for me. Whenever we are together, he always complains about that. He say, when you are serving me food, I don't want maids to save food for me. You are supposed to bring me food and I have to kneel down. I just do it because I want peace between me and him. If I ever go to Zim, I am going to be the only South African woman at his homestead, and they stay in the same place, guys. As rich as they are, they have a big farm with a big mansion. They all stay in the same compound. The house, they are beautiful, but there are no walls in between. They are clustered 3-bedroom rooms. Each and every wife has their own 3-bedroom nice townhouse like in their farm, and all of them, they have cars, but when they move together. Everyone tells me that Zim is peaceful, but I'm only going to be the South African woman there. I don't know how they are going to welcome me because all the women, they are old. I will be the only one that will be in my 30s. The rest of the women, they are in their early 40s to 50 because my blesser, he is aged 62. He said this to me, once the business is permanently closed, it means that I won't be able to use anything on you. I won't be able to give you money because I can't be sending money to South Africa. Come to where your money is, meaning that I am supposed to be there. Another thing that makes me not want to go to Zim, this man, he is in a apostolic church. He is a bishop in the church. You know, those people that have their meetings in the bushes. He is one of those people. He does not allow his women to live like modern women. When you go out, you are supposed to wear those garments wherever you go to. You are supposed to be wearing those things that cover your face, that cover your body. He says that only you are allowed to wear what you want because I did not find you in church. I'm scared that if I go there, he is going to force me. There is no way that I will be able to refuse whenever he is in my house. When I switch on the TV, if I am watching an online sermon, he starts to mock my pastors, saying that these are thieves. They sell fake miracles. Our church is the true church. It's so boring. Once he starts to talk about that, in their church, they don't believe that you have to read the Bible. They just think what they want to say and they say it. And they heal using marine spirits. This is what I have learned throughout the time that I have been staying with him. I am thinking of going to be with him because I do not have a choice, but I just want your advice. Please assist me. He wants us to do this without the blessings of my uncles. He says once you come to him, then me and my relatives will fly back to South Africa and we go and we marry you according to your own culture. I need your advice. I am not going to be poor in Zim. I am going to enjoy the finest life in Zim. But the fact that me and him, we believe in different religions, I'm scared that it is going to mess up even my own well-being. If you were in my situation, what were you going to do? I beg you, please assist me. I'll be following through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to us by one of our admin. Let us try to speak with our dear sister in the comment section. I think maybe you need to go there if you feel like he is your source of income. Just go there and sit down with him, and then we have boundaries. If you go to a Pentecostal church, you find a Pentecostal church, you go to that church. Just set your boundaries whilst you are still here in South Africa. Let us speak with our dear sister in the comment section. I'll be back with another episode.